Welcome in, sorcerers. So nice to see you all. Well, not see you all, but I'm just imagining you all here in the arena as you're watching me open up this Gothic box. You may hear my kitties in the background today because, I'm just feeling extra nice, and I left the door kind of open, and I see one of them staring up at me from the floor. If you hear a yell, it's because they just clawed into my leg trying to climb up into the camera. So, hopefully that won't happen. Usually they're pretty good about that. But we have a couple of boxes for the channel that we're going to divvy up. One in this video, we're going to do Gothic. And then I think because it's the most expensive card in all of Sorcery these days, at least non-foil speaking, we're going to hit up a box, our third and final box of Arthurian Legends coming up on the channel next week sometime. And let's just see if we hit that Ring of Morrigan, that chase card. And if not, no worries. There's so many good cards in Sorcery to look for. I believe this is my third Gothic box as well. Shout out to Norwegian Blue. If you're still watching some of these videos, your comment said you should get at least 3 boxes of each. And that has apparently spurred me on to dig a little deeper, work a little extra. I've been up since 1 a.m. today, and it's already pretty late in the day. So let's hope that I get through this. Let's hope we find something cool. What am I looking for? I guess I'm looking for the old Oomphaloos, right? The Oompa Loompa Loafs, as I like to call them, because it's easier to mispronounce something than it is to pronounce it correctly. So we're looking for the Oompa Loompa Loafs, which are the sort of artifacts that allow you to basically cast extra spells off the top of your deck in 2 different elements, just whatever combination there is. And here we have another beautiful Gothic box. Might go ahead and give this one away to Carl, or maybe I'll just buy some more stuff from Etsy to convert it into another deck box holder if Carl doesn't want it. So here we go. Slide slowly through the seal, the scary seal. Evil is within, it says, and it indeed is. So if you're new to this channel, we do box openings, deck techs. We talk about the philosophy of sorcery. Occasionally I'll do Magic D&D cube stuff, or just kind of maybe some Magic news gets sprinkled in and how it impacts sorcery in particular. But mostly it's going to be sorcery these days, because I find it to be just a more satisfying hobby at the moment. Whatever you like in your life, I'm not trying to yuck it. That old phrase that kind of annoys me just because it sounds so cheesy, the yucking of the yums. I'm not trying to do any of that. But for me, sorcery is where it's at these days. And I'm just in love with the game still. I've gotten into it about 2.5 months ago now at this point, maybe 3 months even. And we're not ceasing. We're just basically selling off a lot of our Magic cards. I sold off even some old baseball cards today. And so, yeah, we're just staying we're managing to stay within our budget just by selling off one collection of a card game I no longer really care that much about to get into a new card game, which I deeply adore. So here we go. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start cracking some packs. These are fun too because they allow me to get a chance to talk with folks. So I don't remember how the setup is in Gothic. Okay, so it might be like 4 or 3 uncommons on top. We got a Forlorn Keep, Reefed in Righteousness, and I didn't have one of these. That's pretty cool. There's our rare, a Sacred Stag. Ward Deathrite, you may ward this site. This is going to go perfect in the Squeakers deck that I was building. So that's how it goes. We've got uncommon, 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 then rare. And there's a potential for any kind of curios or rares, or not rares, but foils in this next section. And there's still some pretty cool cards. I'm going to give Jude, I think, a lot of these extra commons because he's been trying to figure out how to expand his collection without breaking his bank. And I feel that he is not selling his Magic collection off, which, no shade. It makes sense not to do that if you're still in the Magic, and I think he is. But me, not so much. So, Hot Wheel, Wave of Eviction, Those Who Linger, another sweet new card for me, which I haven't seen before. Doomsday Cult. Elite Mortals hasten the realm's descent. Players play with the top card of their spellbook revealed and may cast evil from the top of their spellbook here. Pretty cool. I don't know if there's a real evil deck in all of Sorcery yet, but as sets get released, I'm assuming more and more cards like that we'll see maybe more play in the future. I want to keep these lands separate, keep our uncommons, so we'll keep our elites and uniques, our uncommons, and then our sites in a different pile, and then commons or ordinary cards in a fourth and final pile. A peculiar port where you can summon horrible hybrids from. Invigorate, love having an extra one of these. I actually needed one of those. Gibbous Night Gaunts. And a Hyper Parasite, an elite monster, can pick up a single minion, disabling them, but can't move while carrying them. So it's kind of funny. It's an interesting card in water there. We have no foils yet. That's okay, they're coming. We've got a Gift of the Frog. It's not a Curio Gift of the Frog. If it were, it would have a little bow on its head. And that would be fantastic. We have yet to pull a Curio in any of our boxes, so this is our official 7th box. No Curios yet, but holding out hope. Maybe one day. We'll see. Desecrate. Necropotence. I used to call this Necroponence when I was in high school, and it was a magic card. Necroponence, probably not correct. Another card I've never seen before. And this is one of the reasons I was like, let me get another box, because honestly, there's so many rares, and I should get used to saying the sorcery terms. There's so many elites and uniques in sorcery that it's not uncommon that you'll just open boxes and see tons of cards you've never played before. Banish all nearby spirits and auras, draw a spell for each. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Is that Shalestrom? Shalestrom? Makeshift barricade, displace. Beautiful art by Brahm. The art in Gothic is quite spectacular. I love this by Hada Talifer. We've got a Sweet Autumn Bloom, Granary Rats. Is there any decks that you guys are working on, you guys, gals, whoever, are working on? I'd love to hear about it. I'm all about brewing these days. I'm coming up with all kinds of weird ideas. Order of the White Wing, good card. Has Ward, 3 mana to play. It has an Earth creature or a minion. If a minion would be summoned nearby and it wasn't cast from hand, banish it. So there was a recent Codex rules change that I believe affects this card, but I'm not educated enough to know. But I know that I've heard people talking about this card is now a little bit better than it was before. Oh my goodness, there's the kitty. And we have, whoa, that's wicked. Lord of Fear, an elite demon of terrifying countenance. 6 mana air spell for 6 power. Enemies can't defend alone. Interesting. That's fascinating. So I don't get in a lot of situations where I double or triple block something. I guess you do that all at the same time. Is that correct in Sorcery World? So when it says you can't defend alone, you could say, like, I'm going to intercept this Lord of Fear with 3 frogs at the same time. Okay. Oh, beautiful. These are so good. Any of these double mana producing lands that you can get out of Gothic are amazing, and they are only exceptional, but they're wonderful cards to have. They make your mana a lot nicer as you're trying to build decks. We have a Death Knight. Other nearby, we have a Savior as our first avatar. Death Knight is an undead lord. Savior into Crawling Congregation. Not a huge hit there. This is an elite undead. 5 mana, 5 power. Projectiles fly over this and other adjacent allies. If projectiles were a little bit better, I wonder if this would be a better card. But as it is, I think it's pretty meh, sort of rare. Let's see what else we get. Moss Troll. These bloom lands are gorgeous. If you're just getting into sorcery, the bloom, all the art is hand painted, and it is fantastical. We've got Wild Fanatic and a Crawler. What am I looking for out of Old Gothic besides the Oompa Loompa Loaf? Well, besides that, besides curios, I wouldn't mind honestly getting some more of these. There's a few that I don't have a full set of. A full playable set is 3 for an exceptional, and I'd like to get that. And honestly, it's been so long since I've opened Gothic, or at least it feels like it has been, that I do not know off the top of my head. We've got Meat Hook here. Assimilator Snail. This is my second one of these. This is kind of funny. It's a slow graveyard hate. Once on your turn, you may banish a dead minion. Assimilator Snail becomes a copy of that minion until your next turn. Kind of neat, interesting. Wiccan Tools is pretty cool. This is always useful. Draw a spell. This turn, bearer becomes a spellcaster, and other spells require no threshold when you sacrifice it. It's pretty useful. It can be used in many different types of decks, and that's a good ordinary to have, as is Landmass, as is Croaking Swamp. A lot of real playable cards here, and Horrible Hybrids sees a lot of play in collections for certain decks, because there are lands that create them, there are creatures that create Horrible Hybrids. So, not a bad pack overall. We got Avenging Angel, Demon Hunter. Cool, I didn't have one of these. An exceptional mortal comes well prepared. Genesis, kill target adjacent demon. Interesting little mortal in that if you have a silver bullet, which I've never pulled one, so maybe I'll pull one in this box, you're able to search for exceptional cards in your collection. So my thought is this could see sideboard play depending on your meta. If there's a lot of people who play demons like Lord of Lies, other big demons like that. Lilith. Oh, here's cool. Here's a cool card I haven't seen. Koshay's Egg. 7 mana. Huge. A unique relic in duck, in hair, and chest. Genesis. Avatar bearer hides its soul in Koshay's egg, becoming immune to death blows. After 3 of your turns, or if the egg leaves the realm, you lose. Fascinating. So with a death blow, that would mean you're on death's door, right? And so you get 3 extra turns if you play it at that late time. We'll put the uniques on the side. Do we get any foils, though? We have yet to get a foil, which is unusual, I think. But maybe they're all on one side of the box or in one stack. Open Grave is such pretty art as well. Melissa Benson, old magic artist, longtime magic artist, I should say. Shouldn't call anybody old. I don't know if they love that, but does beautiful work. Did the original Shivan Dragon for Magic, which was one of the most iconic Magic cards ever, and is continuing to do killer work for this game. So, Frozen Horror. Mandrake Jar is really cool. Bearer has +1 power and is an Earth spellcaster. Cool. We got the Base of Babel. That's the exceptional side. Oh my goodness, my kitty has jumped on top of the table and is being a menace. So, and we have a trade encampment. An elite site. Some trash, some treasure. Genesis, you can trade an artifact in your hand with one of equal rarity from your collection. Okay, that's an okay one. I already have a trade encampment. That doesn't really knock my socks off. Pitham, interesting. Gossamer Ghost, Open Mausoleum, Slimy Mutants, Desert Bloom. Gorgeous card, beautiful. Check it out. Cat's going nuts, wants me to play with her, and I'm sorry I'm being a bad dad to my cat. But luckily, she didn't destroy my camera setup, which is fragile. It's not a really nice, good camera setup. It is fragile. So we've got ourselves a Harbinger here. That's another one. And a Necromancer back-to-back. Maybe we'll pull another one. Let's get another. Nope. We get a Slobbermaw, which is a really funny name. Genesis, sacrifice a minion, or Slobbermaw deals 4 damage to you. And our rare or unique is Sphere of Animosity. Another one I have not had. 3 mana, air, elite aura, deep dark desperation. Avatars here can't leave, heal, or be defended. And you see them kind of trapped inside of this little bubble amongst the wastes. That's cool. So that's elite, not unique. We've only got 1 unique so far. Do we get any foils? Have you ever had a box with no foils? That would be rather disappointing if that happened. I mean, I'm pretty resilient to that kind of stuff, of like not trying to get my expectations too hyped, too high. But man, if I got no foils in a box, I'd be a little sad. I don't know if that's a possibility. We'll see. All right, so we've got Barging Barghest, Monster Morphosis, little grouchy little grave digger, and Panpipes of Panam. Damage caused by nearby units is increased by 2. So pretty cool with skeletons. If you're a necromancer, you can use this and a card called Necronama Concert, which I'll poke right here. And yeah, that's an interesting little combination. You get instruments, and you get to do some fun stuff with that. Return to Nature, beautiful card. Another one by Hadi Talifer. And Search Party, Lead Works, Monks of the Kilbasa. That's not their real name, but that's what I call them. No. One whole stack. No foils. One unique. This could be the worst box that's ever been opened. I hope not. It was the same cost as all other boxes. We have a Field of Pixis. Fixis? Fields of Fixis. Sight directly in front of you is silence. This is the second one of those I have, which is sweet. Thumb Screws is the first one I have, I believe. An exceptional device, inching inducement. Whenever a nearby avatar casts a spell, they lose life equal to the number of spells that they've cast this turn. This is a really good sideboard or collection tech against, I can see it, Archimago. It casts a lot of extra spells per turn, and we have Apply Alcahest, which is funny. I've never seen this. Elite magic of alchemical erasure. Destroy all minions, artifacts, and auras at target nearby site. But it is 4 threshold of varying kinds. So, interesting card. Don't know if it's good, but it's a powerful effect. Very targeted, however. And we have no foils in one whole side. So, these two, I need the magic to happen. I need that Gothic magic. So coming up events, something that's interesting is Sorcery just announced a Avatar of the Realm, like a big tournament event up in Boston. And I believe that is in November. There's mystery events that people speculate might be a release of new set cards or just a sort of preview. Mortal Soils are elite aura. Whenever an affected site takes damage, banish a minion from your cemetery to prevent it if you can't dispel this. It's going to be right there on the water. Tickets are going to be fairly limited by the time this video comes out. I believe, I wish I had the date for you as to when tickets would go on sale, but I do not have that yet. I do not have it on top of my head. So look it up if you're interested in going to that event. It's going to be a really nice event. Eric, the head of Eric's Curiosa, is going to be there. He's not at all events, so it'll be a big deal and pretty fun, pretty interesting, I'm hoping. We've got Eerie Coral, Accusation, beautiful art there. Look at that. Who knows what's happening in that reflection. And Heirloom Lost. Okay, so this is Sight Hate. I don't know if it's any good because it doesn't produce this particular type of threshold, but maybe like a Sinkhole, in an elite site, Shadow of its former glory, what you do is you play this to replace any player's elite or unique site under their control. So they don't really lose site, but what's cool, rather than Sinkhole having to be adjacent to a troublesome site, this can be played almost any time of the game to eliminate some big, powerful, I see a foil, big, powerful site that is giving you some problems. What are we going to get for our foil? I kind of have a feeling, but I'm not very good at like creeping on these. Town Priest. Look at this guy. 1 mana, 1 power, an exceptional mortal of righteous rebuke. Genesis, return target adjacent evil minion to its owner's hand. Pretty foil. And on back of all foils in Sorcery, you get a full art, which is also very cool. So that's our first foil. Nothing too insane, but cool that we have them. That breaks that that seal maybe. now we will have foils going forward. So many foils pouring out, oozing out of every ounce of the box. Kissers of Wounds. Bitten. He looks so happy, but he won't be happy for long. Hauntless Head. And Seraphim. That's cool. I haven't seen this. An elite angel, airborne and ward. At the end of your turn, you may transfer a nearby ward onto a nearby minion or site. 4 power, costs 3 threshold and 6 to cast. Pretty expensive, but that's interesting. Is that any good? I guess we'll find out. I love that I'm getting all these cards that I haven't had before, though. Like, I'm getting a lot of rares that I've never seen, even some exceptional cards that I haven't seen. So that's cool, because part of the fun of opening boxes is knowing that you're kind of building your collection in a meaningful way. And other stuff that I have doubles of, I can either trade off or sell, something like that at a later date. Okay, Harkening Kraken, Ferryman's Coin. Ooh, City of Plenty, a unique site of communal cornucopia. Water provides 2 instead, but also provides 1 for your opponent. Interesting. So kind of ramps you more than your opponent, as long as you have water available. That is unique, so that'll go there. That's fascinating. Landmass, always love to have that. And another Croaking Swamp, love to have that. Cool. I think there's a cycle of these. City of Plenty, a couple other cities. That one's not one of the better ones, at least like price-wise or competitive-wise, but I would totally play that. Like, I don't care if I give my opponent 1 extra mana and I get to get 2 extra, like 2, or I guess I get to get 1 extra as well, so it evens out, but it sort of ramps me because it's a land that makes 2. I don't know. Anyway, I have to think about it for a minute. Mudslide, Vesper Swarm, and the Rack. Sweet. I've been wanting this card. It's a unique device, encourages growth. Whenever the bearer strikes an avatar, stretch them so that they also occupy another adjacent location. Then they lose 1 life for each location that they occupy. Such a flavorful kind of card. You have to, I guess, mark that somehow. You can't literally pull the avatar onto multiple sites. Although maybe in the future they'll have technology that will allow you to stretch cards and then put them back somehow. Angry Mob, another Open Grave, and a beautiful Braum. Or no, this is Alan Pollock. It looks so much like Braum to me, it confuses me sometimes. Braum often has these like wonderful action shots of monsters. So, I won't be able to go to the Boston event, but I am really wanting to go to Sorcery Con, because I've heard good things about it, and there'll be a lot of artists, and I love talking to artists. Speaking of, there's a artist signature card, or not signature, but there's a list of all the artists in every box of Sorcery. That if you're new to this game, check it out, just to recognize that this game absolutely loves its artists more than almost any other game that I've ever seen or played. It allows them to keep full rights of their art, which not every game does. So very cool, because then they can sell things. Toolbox, great card. This is very useful. It's always good to have extra toolboxes. Now I can trade one of these off because I have a few. Legion of Gaul. Speaking of toolbox, this goes to find things in your collection. Well, Legion of Gaul is collection hate. For 5 mana, 3 air threshold, airborne, Genesis, look at a collection and banish 3 cards from it. Rude. Rude creature. Trial by Fire. What do we get? Pith Imp, Gossamer Ghost, Zombie Horde, Muddy Pigs. We just made a pig deck. Hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, let me know by subscribing, commenting, liking. All that stuff kind of helps with the YouTube algorithm. I know everybody says it, but we're getting up close to 500 subs. And if I get enough subs and I can start making a little bit of revenue on the channel, I will work to hire an editor. That is one of my hopes, because I would like to have my videos be as interesting visually as maybe my thumbnails portray them to be. I love making the thumbnails, but they're not that difficult to do to make really flashy. But editing, on the other hand, is so hard. It's not a skill that I have naturally. I've never really learned it. Interesting book. The Malleus Maleficarum, a unique document of hammering witches. Once on your turn, bear may cast a magic from your collection that targets an enemy spellcaster or their location or site. Interesting. That's so cool. So, like, here's a thing you can just start pulling things out of your collection. That's interesting. Is that good? I mean, I feel like if you're casting zaps and stuff like that out of your collection, that would be kind of neat to just take your opponent out. So right now we're at 4 uniques, 1 foil. I forget what the numbers are, but I think we've got some room to grow here. I think we've got a lot of, I think there want to be maybe 7 to 9 uniques in a box. I could be wrong. Desecrated Ground, Bone Jumble, Bullwhip, and a Dormant Monstrosity, Voidwalk, an elite monster, Cosmic Reverie. Must be cast to a corner void, costing 2 less for each unit in an adjacent square. It's very cool. It's like a sleeping Cthulhu, and it's flavorfully told because as a minion gets close to it in an adjacent site, and all of a sudden you can cast it there and awaken it, so to speak. But as long as people stay away from the corner of the realm, then all of a sudden it just sleeps there forever, and you just don't think about it. Very cool. I love the flavor of it. Big H.P. Lovecraft fan. So, not of the person, but of the writing. Just got to put that disclaimer out there because some people might think things. A lot of people think things on the internet. As we know, everyone is entitled to an opinion, but I do not love H.P. Lovecraft as a human being. He was not a great guy. He was very scary and kind of terrified of everything, including people that were not the same color as him. However, he was a great writer, and his fear and paranoia came through in all of his books. And, so there's still something about his writing that is worthwhile, even if the man himself is dead, gone, and rest in peace, or piss, whichever you prefer, if YouTube will allow me to say that. Guardian Angel, Airborne, Genesis, fly to a weaker minion and ward it. Hexam Haunts, okay, unique spirits that won't stay down, 3 mana, 3 power, airborne, burrowing, must be cast burrowed, but may be cast from the cemetery. Interesting. Okay, I've never seen that. My feeling is that we're monetarily not doing great on this box. I am getting a lot of new stuff that I haven't had though, which is pretty cool. And I'm also getting a lot of cards that I can donate to friends or other people who might need sorcery cards, because I've already got a lot of these ordinaries. So I'm happy with that part. And we'll get some dust points off of this too. Road to Perdition. Oop, we got another foil coming. Hollow one. And yet, just like all sorcery, everything can change in the blink of an eye in this game. You get one solid foil, and all of a sudden, heaven rains down its mana upon you, and your life changes. We've got old Sawbones here. He's pale in the face. If a nearby allied minion survives damage, fully heal it. And let's go ahead and see what we've got for our foil coming up. I'll see if I can be more mindful. Freeze. Ghoul. Sarava Townsfolk, and we're not there yet. Murder of Crows. Necropotence. It looks pretty cool in foil, actually. Yeah, I love it. It's very psychedelic art. I kind of love it. The selective foiling that they do in sorcery, and they have texture on the text on these foils, often on the type line, is really cool. So, is that only our second foil? Okay, all right. Well, I guess we got some more cards to get through here. Sorry for taking so long with all my jibber jabber. But yeah, Sorcery Con, I want to go to that. That's February 18th through the 21st at Valley Forge Resort and Casino outside of Philadelphia, from what I understand. And tickets aren't available as of yet, but I'm interested in going. So if anybody else is wanting to go, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to get some games on. Sweet. We got another one of these double sites. Very excited about that. And we have a sold out cemetery where you can push the undead around, because if you have one undead here, you can only have one. You can only have one's plot filled. Otherwise, we got another foil coming. See what it's going to be. Doot. Oh, I'm not good at covering up. Lash. Ordinary. Very cool art. Juan Machuca, I think I pronounced that correctly, is a self-taught artist who will, I believe, be at Sorcery Con. He's got really cool, wicked style. Well, I'm talking like a Boston guy, right? I'm not a Boston guy, but, it's not realism, but it's such a neat style. And so the fact that he's self-taught, pretty cool. And I want to say he did a self-portrait with Arjaro Exorcist, which is a playable card. Pretty cool one at that. Because I've seen pictures of him, and I've seen pictures of the Arjaro Exorcist right next to it, and it looks like it is old Juan himself. But really neat that a self-taught artist who didn't go to art school, stuff like that, gets to actually do all this cool work in sorcery. I think this is his first big project. A couple Death Knights, we got a Failed Mutation, and our rare unique is very cool, Symmetric Suffering. This is a card that I don't think I had, so I'm happy to get this one. This goes in my pig decks. It allows them to use their death rate abilities without dying, which is really sweet. We've got Displace, Baptize, and we keep going. Gift of the Frog. Always got to look at your frogs. If you find a frog that has a bow on its head, it is a curio, and it's worth a lot of money. All right, here we are in the last stack. Let's go ahead and race through these. Order of the Pale Worm, Bone Jumble, Searing Truth, Cherubim. That's pretty cool. I think that's a decent hit. An Elite Angel of Burnished Bronze, Airborne Ward, tap shooter projectile that deals 4 damage. Or maybe it's not, but it's a good creature. Let's see what we get going on here. So many frogs. Look at them. They're just ridiculous. They neither look happy nor sad. They're just frogs. They're just amused about the whole thing. Feigned Death. I mean, the pig deck is really coming together here. Apparently, Gothic is what I needed for my pig deck because all these cards are all awesome inside of it. Perfect. Love to get another Thin Ice because I'm excited to start trading these cards off to people who need them. I know Jude, I think, needs one. I think he's only gotten one box of Gothic, if any. So that'll be cool to trade some stuff like that to him. Infusion Factory. Adjacent artifacts are automatons with 2 power and their own bearer abilities. It's such a wild card. It's so interesting. I don't know what kind of deck you use that in. If you know in the comments, let me know. I'd be interested to take a look. I've heard off the top of my head somebody talking about that and some kind of weird combo with it, but I really cannot recall it. It was like somebody speaking Greek to me at that time because I don't know any of these cards do. Guardian Angel, Holy Water, River of Blood, just like Slayer. Or no, that's Rain and Blood, sorry. And Malakim. If you want an angel, this is not the one you really want. It is a rare, though, so that's good. I mean, it's a fine card. Airborne Ward at the end of your turn, you untap it. But, yeah, if you're looking for cool, rare angels to pull, that's one of the lesser because it comes in the precon. So you can easily get it. It's not worth a lot. But it's playable, you know. Now I've got 3 of them, so I can definitely... good card. Swap. I love the idea. Like, they have swapped the minion. They've swapped the bad guy in amongst these penitent knights. Or maybe this is the good guy and the penitent knights are horrible. Either way, it's a bad time for the one solo person. And that's exactly what swap does to your game. So, Magician. That's cool. I never had a Magician. It's interesting. I didn't know that this was a rare or unique. So, Magician... it does something that makes sorcery just like another game that has magic in the name. You have no atlas, but your spellbook may contain sights, and you start with 7 cards. So basically, you have a 60-card deck just like you do in Magic. You draw 7 cards just like you do in Magic, and you have to sort of intersperse and numerically come up with sights and a mixture of spells so that you randomly draw off the top of your deck. It's a very cool avatar, and I will certainly play it. Because I think it's probably good for combo decks because you have so many less cards to look through or pull from, and you draw 7 right off the get-go, which is just incredible. So yeah, be curious to try that out. Vitality, Harvest Festival, Molten Mar, and a Blade Dancer. Not the elite or unique we wanted. I have Blade Dancer decks. You can see them on the channel, but that is not a hit. Boy, this feeling like a dud box, y'all. I'm so sad on the inside. I hope you're still kind of enjoying it, you know, for what it is. But if these last packs don't hit for us, we are about to experience some somberness. I'm going to have to, like, talk to Team Covenant and be like, y'all sent me a total turd. We need something good to hit in this last part to feel excellent about paying retail price. Fertile Earth is cool. That's a nice one to get started because I do love those double lands. They're worth something. And a Black Cat. That's not going to help. I love the cats. Cats are great. I have one of these, so I have 2 now. Has 9 lives, so it literally dies 8 times. I think it dies a 9th time too, but yeah, then determine opponent's random outcomes, which is, I don't know if that's really useful at all, but it's interesting. And I do kind of love, I do just kind of love that you have this card that dies 9 times. If there's ever a deck where you sacrifice something to ping somebody with like a Bleeding Skull, I'll put that card in the picture right above, and you can just kind of drain the opponent, and you can do it fairly rapidly, well then Black Cat's going to see a lot of play. Oh my goodness, I got 2 eager, and just tossed cards everywhere. Make sure not to move my chair. So we got Necromancer here. We got Slobbermaw, Begone, and I am Colossus. 10 power, 10 mana. Unique Automaton of Sinew and Sacrilege. You may banish minions under your control or from your hand or cemetery to help cast the Colossus. It costs 1 less for each. This is interesting because I do want to build a deck that starts allowing me to like use these sort of cemetery rats where they enter and you discard the top 2 spells. There's another red card that allows you to cast it for free if you discard a random card out of your hand. So that would be a really good card in this deck where I'm just trying to fill my graveyard up. And what do we get? That seems like a good foil. Okay. I don't know if that makes up for the box, but it seems like a good foil to have. This is the first time I've ever pulled a demonic contract. Elite Magic, sign here, : search your spell book for any card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle afterward. You may only search for a spell that has rarity lower or equal to demon minion that you control. Take glasses off. An additional cost to cast demonic contract, you must pay 4 life or reach another accord with said demon by sacrificing a coin, egg, frog, gem, goat, rune, treasure, or mortal soul. Fascinating. Very cool card. Love the flavor of it. Neat. I'm happy with that. So my spirits are a little lifted, even though it's because I pulled the devil out of my box. Maybe that says something about me. I don't know. Let's keep going. We have 5 more packs, including this one. Let's end up Stellar. Where are we going to go? Persecutor, cool card. Crazy art. Monster Morphosis. Corpse Catapult. Ugh. Corpse Catapult. I mean, it's funny. You can tap to shoot corpses at people. It does what it says. Wiccan Tools is nice. Buried Life and a Frozen Horror foil. All right, so that's our 5th foil. We're going to go over those in a moment. And then we have 6 uniques. Is that about the max? Not really sure. Cool. Mountain Peaks. That's a really nice one. Double air threshold. So I think we've gotten one of every single element. Holy Nova and Mazouj Ifrit. Airborne. At the start of your turn, you lose 2 life. 3 mana, 4 power critter. All right. Grief Larva, Mesmer Demon, Willing Tribute, Wild Fanatic, Ghostfire. 3 more packs. Big money. Anita Oomphaloomphaloos. I've never pulled one. Kind of sad about that. I don't even care which kind it is. Although there is a particular one I could use for my pig deck. Shallow Grave, Flagellant, and Homecoming. Okay. An Elite Aura exchanges Spear for Spade. Minions here have tap, gain 1 mana. Okay, that's interesting. I bet you could ramp pretty hard with that. I kind of like that. It's not the one I was hoping for, but, I do kind of dig that one, and I think I could play that card for sure. All right. 2 more. Let's end on a high note. This guy it's so funny. I just think that he can't see, which is it's like he's just blocking out the sun with his cross, not scaring something away so much. It's just like using it as I'm just trying to cover my eyes. Kiss of Death, cool. Onslaught, that's another Juan Machuca art. Wilds, very good card. Glad I have a second. And Corruptor, which I've never pulled. Neat. Avatar warps the world in your image. Player draw sight. Your beasts are monsters. Your mortals are undead. And your angels are demons. It corrupts all that it comes across. And a foil Clairvoyant, which I've never even seen a Clairvoyant. An elite mortal sees the unseen. Ward, once in your turn, you may banish a dead minion to look at your top spell. You may put it at the bottom. I mean, that's pretty cool. I love that because I do not mind getting a little bit of scry action. And a foil one seems kind of neat. So that might be our last foil and our last unique. I'm not really sure how things are going, but we have 1 pack remaining. Who knows what can come out of it? We'll all dream big collectively for this one. Bitter Departed, looks like he's a metal singer. Carrionet, very cool card. I'm glad to have another of these. Bladder Blimp. And Forgotten Tomb. Interesting. An elite site honors the long lost past. Genesis, search your top 5 spells for a minion to discard. bottom the rest. I feel like you can play that with the Cemetery Rats and this old I Am Colossus here. All right, that's interesting. So, I feel like the dollar value was pretty low. We probably didn't hit our mark if I'm guessing, but we'll show the results in the top corner. I hope you've had a fine day. And wait, maybe we've saved all of our luck for this upcoming box instead. Or maybe this card is just Bonkers Dynamite, and I have no idea. But it's an Elite, so I'm guessing it's maybe not Bonkers Dynamite. We did not get a unique foil. Anyways, all the luck's in here. That's what we were really waiting for, is this. And we'll be doing that next week sometime. See you all later. Hope you have a pleasant weekend as this comes out on Friday morning. Adios.